Grace and Gemma are the wardrobe team on Aladdin, and that is probably a bit of a nightmare in Panto, because I'm going to guess they break things regularly. First of all, Gemma, tell us a bit about how you got into this to begin with.
I've been working on cruise ships, and then I saw an advert online. They were looking for someone, and yeah, I got it. Got a phone call within a week, so it was all a bit last minute.
So is it slightly worse doing this sort of stuff when you're bobbing about on the ocean waves and somewhere nice and stable in Wolverhampton?
Can be, so it's nice to be on land, yeah.
And what sort of training goes into this? Because you can't just turn up with a needle and thread. It's a bit more involved than that.
No, sewing. You need to be able to sew, fit people, deal with all sorts of different people and different personalities. Organised, you have to be very organised and know what's going on and keep track of everything.
And I actually think it's memorising who's wearing what as well, because there are a number of different outfits, and sometimes you'll see possibly two outfits that are the same when someone's got an understudy as well, so there could be confusing items like that.
Yeah, we try and label everything. That doesn't always work, but yeah, you have to you get to know who's wearing what and when, so yeah, it just takes a few days to get into that. But once you know, you're usually okay.
And you see how you get on for there. And Grace, I mean, when you came into this, how long have you been working in a wardrobe department?
Well, I started off working front of house actually, not at this theatre but a theatre in Birmingham. And then a few years ago I started dressing backstage. I worked on the Panto here last year as well, which was Peter Pan, but Aladdin has a lot more costumes and there's a lot more to deal with, so...
Yeah, and so many more people in it, and it is quite a busy one. Obviously, when you've got different stories, there's different numbers of kids involved, which can always be a problem. But when it comes to alternating the kids, you don't actually alternate the costumes, do you? Because you will have one set that fits all 7-year-olds.
We had a bit of a manic evening at the start of the process when we had to fit 2 sets of kids into one set of costumes. So we kind of had to do a few alterations to make it fit 2 people at the beginning, but... luckily, they've been fine with their costumes, so we haven't had to deal with them too much. Yeah, it was just the manic bit at the beginning, really.
But is it like the world of modelling? Are the bulldog clips involved as well to get these things to fit properly sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes, or lots of button elastic, lots of poppers.
And are there costumes you enjoy working on more than others? Because sometimes you get some quite big headgear, and something like Aladdin, you've got some brilliant shoulder pads.
I think in this show... particularly, I quite like Twanky's costumes because he does have a lot of changes. One in particular that sticks in my mind is that the panda costume. He has like a massive panda headdress with the ears and then like actual kind of like teddy pandas like off the side of his dress, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, but it's everything from actual cloth outfits into props that are built into the clothing too.
Yeah, for example, Adam, who plays Wishy, he has to wear like this massive mummy that's in a cage, so it's kind of a costume, but it's also kind of like prop. So yeah, me and the ASM Tom, we both help him into it and we both kind of look after that. I set the legs for it, he sets the top half of it, so yeah, it's kind of like prop costume kind of thing.
And when you've got something going on like that, have you ever been sort of in the wings watching and something's gone horribly wrong and you think, hang on, I'm going to need some sequins?
Not sequins, but safety pins. There was an incident the other day and somebody's trousers broke down the back seam, so that was a slight emergency, but he managed to pull it off fairly well, so yeah.
Do you try and get them to wear underwear that matches the trousers then, just to avoid any real issues there?
We probably should have done, yeah. He wasn't at that point, but yeah, they do have to wear something underneath.
It's the fact that sticks in your mind as well, which is a bit concerning. And I mean, do you actually, as you say, you worked on Panto here last year for Grace, but I mean, do you sometimes find that you end up on a tour as well? Does that happen to you too?
I haven't done yet, but I would love to.
And Grace?
Same with me. That's what I'd like to do in the future. I'd like to tour with a musical or play or whatever, really. Yeah, that's something that I'd like to do at some point. So.
And you say you like the panda costume. Is that your absolute favourite in the whole show?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I like that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and yours?
Oh, any of Twanky's really. He's got so many.
It's a Twanky thing again. The dames always do get the good outfits, don't they?
Yeah. He's got lots of big accessories and he's very vibrant.
And so who's the easiest person to dress as well? I'm going to guess Jeannie doesn't have too much to do.
Yeah, Jeannie, Ping Pong. The Empress, there's a few that they can look after themselves more or less.
Yeah, and who's the worst one to deal with? Between you come and just name names.
Well,
it's not so much worse, but they've got lots of quick changes or.
There's Twanky has probably a lot of changes, and Sharon one of the dressers looks after him, and Adam also has quite a lot of changes, and I do most of his changes, and Ina, the other dresser, also helps me with some of those changes. So.
Well, Grace and Gemma, thank you for having a chat with us. We'll let you get back to repairing things now. Fingers crossed there's not too much work to do, but enjoy the rest of the run that goes on at the Grand Theatre right the way through till the 22nd of January, when you'll finally be able to put the sewing machines away for a little bit of a break. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.